Welcome back to this playthrough for Fallout New Vegas. In this video, well, like I said in the last one, I'm a little bit paranoid about this quest being bugged. So we're going to go ahead and talk to Colonel Moore and do at least the first half, give or take, of the quest. And so the first portion of this quest, I'll go ahead and pull it up real quick, For the Republic Part 2, is going to have us trying to deal with the Great Khans. So I have a feeling I might be able to do it fairly.
Patrolling the Mojave almost makes you wish for a nuclear winter.
Oh, well, hello.
Good, you made it. I've been receiving reports about the savior of the NCR for a while now and wanted to meet you myself. You've proven yourself especially capable, and right now I can use all the capable people I can get. Crocker gets handed the fluff missions that no one else wants to do. When people need something really important done, they come to me. Usually I dispatch one or more rangers to see these things through, but I'm a little short-handed at the moment. Think you're up for a real mission? Since the majority of my men are on assignment dealing with the Legion, I need someone to handle other matters that have arisen. Make no mistake, there's a battle coming, and I intend to make sure there are no loose ends when the time comes. One such loose end is a gang known as the Great Khans. Have you heard of them? Then I don't need to tell you that they can be a pain in the ass. The NCR has a rather sordid history with them, and I'm concerned that we'll find them aiding our enemies when the Legion attack comes. That is, unless we get to them first. I want you to visit them in their canyons to the far west and make sure they're in no shape to join the Legion. They're just another gang of raiders as far as I'm concerned, so deal with them appropriately. Any questions? Don't fool yourself. I've dealt with enough of these gangs to know that they can't be trusted. Was there anything else? Then you'll need to make sure none of them are left to do so. Any other questions? I can't lend you any troops, but I've already sent word to Quartermaster Barden that you're to be given full access to our hardware. You'll have to pay for what you take, however. We can't afford to give away equipment. Did you have any other questions? Good. I look forward to hearing of your progress. Dismissed.
Things are getting stranger every day.
Like you just floating down the hallway. So anyway, as I was saying before running into the Colonel, I have a feeling I probably can resolve this somewhat peaceably. You know, despite her protest to the different. Anyway, I've never actually been over to the Great Khans area, so I guess it was a good thing I went looking for stuff earlier. Sunset Sarsaparilla, I think that might be the closest place. Could be wrong. But yeah, I have a feeling I want to make sure that dealing with the Great Khans and then I believe the Omertas afterwards, if I can get through both those sections of this quest, we should be okay. And like I've mentioned in the past, I've done a lot of I've done all the unofficial patches and things of that nature, so they may have already fixed this and I may be being paranoid for no reason, but better safe than sorry. Alright, who's dying? Oh, y'all are dying, okay.
Like the sight of your own blood.
Seriously? How you doing, Rex? Nah, it ain't scratchy. We are just minding our own business. people who want to commit suicide by power armor. Okay, boy, I heard you yell. Let me play with some of this inventory real quick. See something over here. Apparently it's just cows. Oh. Well, I'm not going to mess with you cows. You know, Rex is going to tear you all apart. These sure do respawn really quickly. And I guess the really funny thing about it is you kill them and you just get karma. So anything bad you do in the game, just go over to Fiend's territory. They're going to attack you anyway, and it'll just even out. Not that I've done a lot of bad stuff in the game, but I've had to steal a few things here and there. That's okay. Huh. Where'd the body go? There it is. Huh? Is that a gap over there? Doesn't look like it. Guess we're going around. There was a time those fire geckos were really bad. I'm glad that time is behind me now. Chances map? The sun is killing me. I am not sure what I'm supposed to be seeing here.
Trouble.
Oh, level up. Very nice. No, I don't plan on doing a lot of sneaking. However, with a 50 sneak, I can get in better guns to places that look for stuff like that. So with 50 sneak, I can sneak in stuff like sawed-off shotgun, for instance. Be very helpful. Or maybe it's too late in the game for me to be trying to do that, but who knows. You know, maybe this one's probably not as important, but I'm going to take it anyway. Ah. Another achievement. Yeah, it's been many years since I've been to Vegas, but I do remember I wanted to go visit Red Rock Canyon. Saw something red for a second. Oh, it's a big corner. Okay. If you don't mess with me, I won't mess with you. Trying to get kills with this gunrunner weapon. So get that challenge. Too efficient. Well, it's probably a good time to say. I was Savior of the Damned. I wonder what I'm called now that I'm level 30. Okay.
Seems like everybody with a stake in the Mojave is gearing up for something big. Soon, Caesar will send in his best troops from the Arizona.
It's not showing up on the map. I don't understand why it's not discovering this location yet. That was silly. Alright. Let's see if we can broker some peace here. Huh, I'm the Messiah now. Okay.
Hello. The runners are saying that the NCR is sending in their elite shock troops to try and push back the Legion.
Not now, I'm busy.
Who am I supposed to be talking with then?
I understand you've been invited to meet with Caesar. You should be aware of the honor you've been granted. My name is Carl. Glorious Caesar has sent me as an emissary to the great Khans as a token of our alliance. In exchange for great Caesar's promise of all the lands west of New Vegas, the Khans have agreed to fight alongside the Legion when the time comes. I am one of the Frumentari. It is my duty to scout the waste in Caesar's name and make contact with any tribes that might serve a useful purpose. You might say I'm somewhere between a scout and an ambassador. I'm assigned here as part of the alliance between the Legion and the Great Khans. Though they have been cruelly oppressed by the NCR, the Khans remain great warriors. The Legion is honored to have such allies in battle. Speak then. Yes, goodbye.
I think I
I
need to
heard
bring...
from one of Melissa's runners that check-coded bastard got thrown out on his ass.
Hey, welcome to Red Rock Canyon. Since you've done so much for the Great Khans, Papa Khan told me to let you know you can buy weapons at our armory. You can find it in the basement of the burned-out building at the mouth of the canyon.
Hey, welcome to Red Rock Canyon. Since you've done so much for the Great Khans, Papa Khan told me to let you know you can buy weapons at our armory. You can find it in the basement of the burned-out old building at the mouth of the canyon.
Yeah? Seems like everybody with a stake.
Alright, I think that was obviously some delay. Well. So there's a Legion guy in here.
NCR spreads its infection to another town, I hear.
I have a feeling that the person I want to talk to is going to be sitting over there. And the quest log is just not showing up yet. It's 1 in the morning. Okay. I'll be right back. Don't y'all move. Well, it's almost 10 o'clock now, so let's see if the guy's here that I need to speak to.
I heard from one of Melissa's runners that check-coded bastard got thrown out on his ass.
I haven't seen you before. What brings you to the Great Khans? Name's Regis. I'm Papa Khan's advisor and right-hand man. I'm also the chief enforcer of the tribe's laws, so watch your behavior. That's a complicated question. They've done horrible things to our people, to be sure, and I've gladly killed many of their soldiers in battle. But I can't bring myself to hate them the way Papa does. Things would damn sure be better for us if they were in charge than Caesar. I suppose if asked I would, but that's a moot point, because Papa's in charge now, and he's not going anywhere. Papa is one of the best leaders the Khans have ever had. He's kept us together through all of our hardships, ever since we left California. Bitter Springs changed him, though. He started to really hate the NCR after the massacre, and sometimes I worry that's poisoned his mind. Nothing. Forget about it. I shouldn't be talking about this with an outsider. Pop? I really don't like to talk about it. Let's just say it was a tragedy, and the NCR is to blame, and we'll leave it at that. Sure. Go ahead. Until next time.
Not many get the favor of Caesar.
Well, that just opened up another... Huh. That's interesting. So that quest also got updated.
Then Papa hasn't been to the fort.
Yeah? So the cub enters the wolf's den. What do you want, cub? You want to hear the story of the Great Khans? It's a long one, full of honor, glory, and betrayal. We have suffered, but we will regain our glory. In a hurry, are you? Very well, then. The Great Khans came east, out of the NCR 14 years ago. We ruled the wastes then, and called no man master. But we underestimated the families of the Strip, and they drove us back to Bitter Springs, where we remained until the NCR arrived and drove us here. They allied with Mr. House, the self-proclaimed master of New Vegas. He supported them with the resources of New Vegas. Weapons, technology, caps. They were better equipped, and we could not stand against them. When the NCR came to the Mojave, we thought they would be easy pickings. We raided their caravans, their towns, their camps. They couldn't stop us. At least that's what we thought. They tracked us to Bitter Springs and surrounded us. When our children, our sick and old, fled through a nearby pass, the NCR gunned them down. Oh, they claimed it was a miscommunication, but tell that to those who saw our families butchered. Tell it to the survivors who were banished here. Typical. No reference for history in the younger generations. You march all the way out to Red Rock Canyon, enter my home as bold as you please, and you have no idea who I am? You've got guts, I'll give you that. Well then, let me educate you. I am the chief of the great Khans. The Khan of Khans, if you like. This is my tribe, and these are my people. Have you now? Well, you're a bold one, I'll give you that. But why should I do this for you? Don't you dare mention the NCR under this roof. They are butchers without honor, killers of women and children. I won't hear any more talk against Caesar or his alliance. The great Khans will answer Caesar's call to war, and the NCR will pay for their crimes. Farewell.
Caesar's veterans will arrive from Arizona soon, and there will be no stopping our victory. Yes, goodbye.
I like you, stranger. You've stood by us when not many would.
A robot
The
dog?
runners are saying that the NCR
Never
is
seen
sending
one
in
of
their
those
elite
before.
shock troops to try.
I heard you try to convince Papa Khan not to join with Caesar's Legion. I'd like to talk to you about that for a moment. You want to convince Papa not to ally with Caesar, right? Trust me, you'll get nowhere just talking to him about it. He's fixated on restoring the glory of the great Khans, and he sees Caesar as the path to that restoration. Papa can be a stubborn man, but he's not a tyrant. He listens to his tribe, and to 4 voices in particular: me, Jack, Diane, and Melissa. If you can convince all of us that allying with Caesar is a bad idea, you might be able to sway him. You'd have to talk to them, but those 2 have been thick as thieves since they were kids. Convince one, and the other will come around. Ah, Melissa. She's a bit of a dreamer. Last time she was in camp, Carl filled her head with stories of serving the Legion as a speculatore. Personally, I've never seen a woman in Legionnaire's armor, so I have my doubts. I have my doubts about Caesar, yes, but I won't publicly go against Papa Khan based on nothing more than doubts. I've heard rumors that tribes who aligned with Caesar in the past were torn apart and reduced to slaves. Prove it, and I'll back you. Good. Oh, one more thing. Caesar's representative, Carl, has become fast friends with Papa. Carl's the one who has him so fixated on this alliance. You'll probably have an easier time of things if you can find a way to get him out of the picture. Carl talks prettily about the honor and nobility of the great Khans, but I suspect his actual opinion is less flattering. Maybe you could find something he wrote that expresses that opinion, or trick him into losing his cool in the longhouse right in front of Papa. I would too, if I were you.
Okay, well that just opened up a lot of stuff, actually. Very interesting. Wow, these people are like all over the place. Well, let's go to the person that's behind me.
NCR spreads its infection to another town, I hear.
Just need to figure out how to navigate this canyon. And that's not how. The invisible wall of you can't climb here. Okay. Ooh. Just had a lurch forward that almost kick me off the cliff. People talk a lot over here, don't they? Yeah, the easier course of action would be just go in there and kill everybody, but... well, if I can do this the less bloodthirsty way, I will.
The runners are saying that the NCR is sending in their elite shock troops to try and push back the Legion. The runners are saying that the NCR is sending in their elite shock troops to try and push back the Legion.
You said that already.
Whoa, new guy. Do? We don't, like, do anything. We make the magic happen. We make the happy stuff. What do you need? Jet, Psycho, a little Med-X to ease the pain? Guess I just had a natural talent for it. When I was a kid, these cats called the Followers of the Apocalypse came to our camp. They knew all kinds of kooky, scientistical stuff, so I ate up all the chemistry they could teach. Diane had the head for business, so we teamed up. Diane's my girl, man. We've been taking care of each other our whole lives, ever since our folks died. Now we keep the cons and caps together. They're family, you dig? They've always looked out for us, made sure we had something to eat and a place to crash. Papa may look like a big angry bear, but he's a softy at heart. Regis is cool, scary, but cool. The rest are all pretty groovy, even little Jerry. The other dudes call him Jerry the Punk. That's kinda harsh, though. I think he's just a sensitive soul that needs some love. He's usually down around the proving ground if you want to say yo. What do you mean, helpful? My stuff already makes people feel Groot-alicious. Oh, you're right. I should start a side project making meds to keep my aura clean. Diane handles most of the transactional elements of this little enterprise, but I'm always in the market for new recipes if you've got the spark. Already on it. I whipped up a few stim packs already, but if you've got any more recipes, I'll take them. Right on. What have you got?
Ah. Okay. Well, I've got a book that I can do on that one.
Right on. Let's have it.
Okay, this is actually going pretty well. I just got a book to pump up my science. Excuse me, survival. Pretty sure I do. Somewhere. Three of them.
Groot-alicious. That ought to rake in the caps. What do I owe you? Right on, right on. You're a pretty hip cat. Already on it. I whipped up a few... Right on.
What else do I have with survival? Okay, just that one.
Right on. Let's have it. Grootalicious. That ought to rake in the caps. What do I owe you?
Grootalicious. I mean, seriously.
Right on, right on. You're a pretty hip cat. Right on. What have you got? Right on. Let's have it. Grootalicious. Right on, right on. You're a pretty hip... Right on.
Not done.
Grootalicious. That ought to rake in the caps. What do I owe you? Right on, right... Take it easy, dude.
Okay, so it looks like I can probably get these two to join up fairly easily. Well, you know,
You're
I'll
not
talk
one
to
of
you.
my regulars. What do you want? We keep the Great Khans from falling apart, essentially. Jack manufactures the chems. I organize the runners and the shipments. We make regular shipments to a lot of settlements around the Mojave. A lot of our business comes from the fiends lately. Personally, I think they're kind of creepy, but Papa likes the fact they get all hopped up on Psycho and harass the NCR patrols. Like what? I'll spare you the history lesson. Talk to Papa Khan if you want to hear that story. Things have been rough for a while now. Even with Jack working all the time and my runners making deliveries daily, we're barely getting by. Maybe this alliance with Caesar will help, but I don't know. Red Rock Canyon isn't exactly the most hospitable place. There's no food, barely any water, and nothing anybody wants. We used to send patrols out to acquire supplies, but ever since Bitter Springs, there just aren't enough of us left. Sure, what do you want to know? Well, it's not like I'm super attached to working with Caesar or anything, but if it'll stop his patrols from harassing my runners, I'm all for it. Papa hasn't steered us wrong yet. Yeah, you made a pretty good argument. We'll keep it small for now, but if it turns a profit, we might expand. You look like you could handle yourself in a fix. All right, I'll tell you what. Anders, one of my best runners, is overdue to report back. If you can find out what happened to him, I'll give you some real work. About 3 weeks ago, I sent Anders southeast to find a route into Arizona, to open new markets for our product. He should have been back 2 days ago, but there's been no sign of him. Thanks. Prove you're reliable on this, and I'll have more for you later.
Alright, I guess y'all can go to sleep now. I can teach you my other recipes later.